Hi everybody, I just wanted to give you a heads up. These next 4 episodes have a bit of a flub in them from what we had discussed and read out of the module a month prior. The ritual for the Eye of Light and Darkness does say in the book that it takes it takes from the time of the sunrise or the moonrise till the time of the moon set. I had forgotten that when we came back to play again. And so that has been kind of changed in the way the game runs. I realized it about 10 minutes after we finished recording the last episode for the evening. I realized that it had been a mess up there, but I didn't want to go back and re-record anything because we had already gotten really good episodes out of everybody, and I really felt like everything fit the theme and the ideas well enough. I like the way it is, and I wanted to keep it that way. So I apologize. It was an oversight on my part, and it was completely my mistake. And hopefully you'll bear with us as we go through these next 4 episodes, and keep in mind that it happens sometimes, especially in role-playing games. Sometimes the keeper or the DM or the GM or whatever you want to call them, they forget some pretty important information, even when it's written down right in front of their faces where they can read it. So thank you for listening, and hope that particular mistake doesn't bother you enough to make you not want to listen to the rest of it, because these 4 episodes kind of wrap up the story for all of Masks of Nyarlathotep. We have 2 episodes after number 76 that kind of wrap up what happens to the characters, and then one that wraps up what the players thought of the system and of Call of Cthulhu in general. And then we'll be sliding into some side quests, and then from there into Achtung Cthulhu, which will start. Hopefully you'll be getting those episodes sometime in August. Again, thank you very much, and thank you for listening.
A word for our listeners. Masks of Nyarlathotep is set in the 1920s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It is not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to the Nerds Domain presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Join us each week as our investigators follow a path of clues and attempt to save the world from an ancient evil. Starring John Quiett, Jestin Kimmet, Shirley Niedzwiecki, George Chimples, Jason Hall, and Scott Troiano, with Matt Quiett running the table as keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed cultists await you just beyond this music.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm here with John.
Hello.
George.
We're live.
Scott.
Oh yeah.
Justin.
Yo.
Shirley.
What's up?
And I'm Matt. Where were we last time, guys?
Bazinga. We were...
In a Masonic Lodge.
Yeah. Complaining that, those 4 lights are out.
But it's cold this time, so...
What?
How many lights are out?
I'm freezing.
4.
How many lights are out?
There are
4
lights.
lights.
Thank you. I did that on a I'm like, I can't
You did
set
it on
up
a
any
reason?
better.
You
I did it on a
nice
reason.
about You did it on a reason.
We were in Shanghai.
Were we
Yeah, we're in
already in
Shanghai.
Shanghai?
Yes!
Oh, that's right.
You remember
You
we
guys
fought the
just
cat guy?
Burnt down
Not
a
cat
tea
guy,
shop
we
or
fought the
something.
Cat
We
was a
burned down a
demon.
tea shop. That was a while back.
What? Wow.
We had a
that
very
was like
pleasant...
4 continents
we
ago.
had a very pleasant interaction.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Masks of
No,
Nyarlathotep.
we're keeping
We're
that.
starting over.
No.
No, that was
What?
great.
That was a great opening.
That was
Come
podcast
on.
gold.
Yes, it was. That was there. Do they have Emmys in the podcast?
Listeners,
What
if
is
you
it?
agree, retweet this. If you disagree, fave it.
Oh, the little star thingy.
That's awesome.
I'm like, fave it.
So, we had just gotten our new demony weapons and killed the
There
cat.
were no demon weapons! Oh my
We
god!
found a
What was
cabinet.
Hey, there was an armoire that absorbs evil demon energy. I would call that a demon weapon.
I
would
got
you not?
a sword of some
Was I
sort.
playing
He
the
got a
same
mystic
days?
sword. Is that not...
What'd you say?
Where was
Were we
I
not in
at?
the same game?
First and foremost,
You're
you're
pretty
not
high
taking
that
the armoire with you that has been explained.
We didn't say we were taking them with them. We're saying that we...
We know where it is. We can make use of it later.
I'm just describing what we saw. Which
I
was we
imagine
talked
he
to a
will
cool
be
guy.
taking the sword, right?
Yeah.
We talked to a feng shui guy. We fought a cat. We put the
Yep.
cat in a cabinet.
Oh, that's right. The cabinet that dissolves all evil. Got
And,
it.
Which, if it learned anything, it's to shoot all cats on sight.
Yep.
That is actually pretty close to the lesson that was learned in that encounter, yes.
Oh, because we were like being all cute. Oh, look, it's a kitty cat. Rah.
Because Ma was convinced it was not a bad cat. And
Yeah.
I was like, we're going to kill this poor man's cat and get off on the wrong foot. And
Lo and behold.
the great...
It wasn't the poor man's cat.
Priestly
Thanks, Mom.
installation. Okay, so we're going to refocus here. real
Okay,
quick.
so now what are we doing?
After that, you guys realize you talked to Jack Brady.
Yep.
He gave you a lot of information. You
Yeah.
realize you need to go to an island and
Yeah.
sacrifice some people.
Oh, and fill up that
that's
little
right.
cup over 16 hours.
So now at
from
this point-
moonrise to moonset. And
So now at this point, you need to go from where you're at to Grey Island and take with you enough of something to fill the cup to keep the ritual going and stop what's about to happen. That is where you're current. Oh my goodness,
We could-
Jesse.
It was called Grey
Okay,
Island. I thought
Grey
it had a.
Dragon Island.
Okay, I thought it had a far more sinister name than Grey.
Okay, so I think what we decided is that we were going to, we didn't know what kind of blood, because it's... Did it say the
It
blood
has
of
to be
innocence?
innocent.
Blood of
the
innocence.
conversation.
Which means we need to
And
go
we said it
steal
was
some
like
babies,
a
right?
pinprick.
Listeners at home, it has been a month since we recorded and saw the confusion.
no, there's no confusion.
The
at all.
conversation last time was that it could not be anything but human blood,
Right.
but that only a little bit of blood needed to be put into the cup at a time. However, it goes away as time goes by, and you need to keep putting blood in there.
And it needs to
Yeah.
stay filled from moonrise to moonset.
No, it didn't say that it needed to be filled. It just
Well,
said
whatever
there needed to
the-
be blood in there.
Whatever the hecatomb is,
You
it
could
needs...
prick a finger and drop a
I don't think that's
blood in
gonna work.
there.
It's
No, it's a larger quantity than that, but a
How
smaller...
do you know? Does it say quantity?
Yes, the quantity was
a month ago.
identified.
It was identified.
Yeah, we discussed
Okay.
the possibility of that.
What's the quantity?
Would someone like to roll medicine to try and figure out exactly?
Well,
So, but
that
my
would be
thought
awesome
is-
if Catherine was here.
My thought is that if we find the professor... Nice. My thought is if we find the professor, then we could just put him in a giant juicer and then last the whole night through.
The
He's
blood
a
of an
big- he's a
innocent.
big
He's not
The blood of
innocent.
innocence.
yeah, he has.
Oh,
can't
yeah.
have Cthulhu knowledge.
He
He's
is the
got too
least
much.
innocent.
It is actually
Well-
the blood of the ignorant, not
Ignorant?
innocent. There are two.
There is,
I've
because
just-
that removes the whole need for babies then. Because
So it could be a bunch of Chinese thugs as long as they don't know about the Cthulhu mythos.
Oh, see, but he...
So, Ma, where are we going to find those?
A, he's not innocent, it's Jason. And B, he's not ignorant because if you've ever asked him, he'll tell you how not ignorant he is. Again, that's Jason. What are we rolling?
Isn't that the mark
Medicine.
of the truly ignorant?
Yeah,
Medicine.
it is, isn't it?
Okay,
Medicine.
so first,
Got it.
you
Didn't
need,
get it.
You will need lots of power, so you do need more people.
Because that's what I was thinking. He's got a pow out the wazoo that we could just...
can't we just
siphon
like
into
fry
the-
his
never
brain or
mind.
something?
We don't have him in our possession.
We don't have
know
him,
where
so-
he lives.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he's going to be the... Never mind.
And because his parents were cultists, I fully expect him to be running Grey Dragon Island going, sorry guys, I meant to tell you, I picked up where Mom and Dad left off.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I see that coming a mile away.
So we're just going to set up like in a building stating, "Hey guys, come
Matt's
here,
going
work
to give
around
us
this
another
thing."
clue about what we need, so we should probably hear that first.
Matt's trying to recap for you guys so you can go off.
So is the unit of measure a hecatomb? Go ahead.
You were the one that was late.
I think this is where we pause, listeners. We'll be back in a moment. Oh, dear Lord.
You will need quite a bit of power, which you cannot sacrifice as a group, and all be conscious and defensible should something else arise magically inclined.
So the clarification question there is, we cannot sacrifice that as a group. In other words, he can't sacrifice two, and Johnny
You
sacrificed two.
could, however, it's going to require something around 100 power points,
Whoa.
which you as a group may have that between you. I don't think you quite do, but even if you took some from each of you, your magical defenses, and I'm just talking mechanics here, you would understand this from reading the text. Your magical defenses would be weakened. You don't want to be in a weakened state.
Right.
This would be also like sacrificing hit points. You don't want to sacrifice hit points right before you're potentially going to be assaulted by a bunch of dudes.
What are you making reference to Wilkerson there?
No.
You poking at me? Oh, go ahead.
So my Father Grave suggests perhaps we should contact the clergy in the area who might be willing to, sacrifice themselves in part to save
The world.
the world.
Are we having this conversation at a meal or something along that? Like, if we regrouped?
I believe
Maybe
you're
not
still
at a
there with.
meal,
I believe
but-
you're still there with Jack Brady.
Jack Brady came to us in the
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So
in
you're
the safe house that we were holed up in. Were we in an embassy?
You're at the. I don't think it's called an embassy. But it's essentially the same thing. Yeah.
How ignorant do these people need to be? If we tell them that they're sacrificing themselves to save the world, are they no longer?
Also, it should be noted: you don't have to kill anyone. You don't.
That doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Oh my god!
So
we're taking them to a hostile island. We're draining half their power. Odds are people are going to die.
You take 20 people, you'll have enough blood and enough power.
But can we take their blood in a jar?
No, they have to be there with you because they have to be there to sacrifice the power as well.
Okay.
See, whereas I, as Robert Livengood, I'm uncomfortable with the idea of performing these vile magics. Even all it does is invite.
Well,
more,
this vile magic is what's going to keep us living.
Or if we let whatever it is have its way with their leeches and cages, that will also be that which enslaves us.
That's why we're doing this, so that they can't do that.
But in fighting this, are we not becoming this also? Because they were using leeches to draw blood. We're using people to draw blood. We're doing the same thing they were doing.
Were you willingly in the cage which we sprung you from?
No.
These people will be going willingly with us. That's the difference.
There is a certain amount of the greater good we have to consider here. Yes, the magic is vile, and it's not something that I want to do, but it's something that has to happen. Otherwise, we've wasted all of our times and all of the lives that have gotten us this far.
And I did not come out here a second time to help you guys out, to just turn around and go out now. I'd like to get home someday.
To your dresses and manicured hands?
I'd like to get home to America someday.
You need to understand that there's a real possibility that won't happen, and be okay with that before we proceed. This isn't going to be just because we show up, they're not going to surrender.
Well, fight to my last dying breath.
Okay. As long as you're prepared. Go in here with open eyes.
So, did anyone want to make that medicine?
I failed.
Scott got it.
Failed.
Oh, I thought you rolled and you said you passed.
And I said, no, I'm sorry, I didn't pass.
So, you're not positive exactly how much blood you would need over time and all that.
Better to have more than not enough.
But
Hecatomb.
But 20 people should still be more than enough. And would still give you the power you need as well.
Yeah, but good luck getting 20 people to come to the island with us.
Well,
Not if they're Chinese.
Father Grave suggested going to the clergy, which still may be a good idea.
Your
We
mom
have
might have
enough
some contacts.
people of
Have
faith.
People that are willing to do it for money.
People of faith that know that they're going up against something evil.
That fortune teller might be another good resource.
Wait.
Clients that the one we saved from the cat demon.
Mr. Lung.
He might have clients who are willing to, be persuaded that they're helping. I mean, they will be, but his clientele might be more inclined into believing our story. So, Matt, I forgot, or I don't remember exactly what you said. The Christian church doesn't have a high.
It was suggested
presence?
to you by Boss Dang to take off your collar because you would stick out more. There is a presence here of missionaries, and you can find them pretty easily. It's questionable how many people are going to be here, though, so that it would just be a matter of going and finding out. You wouldn't know offhand, I guess. The Catholic Church would probably be one of the better numbered groups. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Could you not write back to your Vatican?
Not in the time frame that we have in front of us.
How much time do we have? I thought we had 7 months.
You do have 7 months, Scott. You're correct. However, you were here one night and all your guards got killed. So, yes, you have 7 months. However, the time you're on is probably less than that.
Well, but Brady's got a hideouty stash place we could hang out for a while where nobody could find him.
We can use supernatural means to find us eventually.
He also was caught 3 other times at other super hidey out places. So this one may just be a matter of time before he's caught here, too.
That was one of the reasons he didn't want us to come to him, was he didn't want to reveal his latest safe house. So, again, I'm willing to go to the church, but yeah, going all the way to Rome, contacting Rome to get them to order it to happen probably isn't the most expedient way. If we go and they say no, then that's an avenue we can pursue, but I'm probably faster just to go and ask.
If only we had a doctor amongst us who might anesthetize a water source, and then we could, just load up a boat with folks. Sorry.
Our last doctor left because she was upset that her friend got himself killed.
Understood.
So, I'll go talk to the church. Ma, you have connections with the Muslim church here?
No.
Okay.
I was not... Church is not the right word, and that is not something I availed myself much of while I was here in Shanghai.
Then your underworld contacts.
Yes, I will investigate with them. It is possible we may have some people for a price, but we must be cautious that one of the... we're not infiltrated. 20 people is a large number.
Well, at this point in time, it's just we're just looking for the people who are willing to help.
Oh, I know. I'm saying if those who are willing, if word gets out too far, that some people may be like, oh, I would like to join you on this, and they turn out to be a member of a cult.
I see what you mean.
The bloated lady.
Yes, that's the one.
Then would somebody be willing to go speak with the fortune teller and ask him if he has any people that he could contact?
I could talk to him.
I don't. Just for the record, it's pretty dangerous here. I don't think splitting up is necessarily the best idea.
Which means we really should.
Haven't you guys seen that movie? Don't split up the party.
No.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Let's just go around and hit each one in order.
Yes, the day is young.
We have 7 months.
All right, so you guys head to the church first, because I'm just going to pick an order.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
What I'm about to say may be historically inaccurate, but we're going to go with it anyway. So you come in and ask for a meeting with the bishop. We're assuming there's a bishop here, there's an established church. That's the part that could be inaccurate.
Sure, the
And
highest local official.
Yeah,
among the,
we'll just call him a bishop of the city. You are granted pretty quick meeting, and he has room for all of you. He sits that you all sit down kind of at a conference table, probably somewhere where they meet and talk about the city. His name is Bishop Passandro. He is Italian, but greets you in lightly accented English. Gentlemen, ma'am, what can I do for you? Which one of you is the father?
I would have my collar on at this.
Okay, so you would have.
meeting.
I assume you would have hit it until you got here.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's just a piece of cardboard. You can
Yeah.
put it down.
Father, what can I do for you?
Your Holiness, this is going to sound strange, but I want you to hear me out. We have information that leads us to believe that there are demonic worshippers on Grey Dragon Island, and they are going to summon forth, demon would be the closest word I can come up with, and bring about mass destruction. And we are looking for assistance in preventing that.
What sort of assistance?
We need individuals of faith and good, clean conscience to get on a chartered vessel and go out to the island and perform a counter ritual, much like an exorcism, but it will require their will and their lifeblood in small quantities. No one will be permanently injured in the process if we get the right number of people. It is dangerous, and we need to move with haste and secrecy.
I see. And how many people?
We are looking for at least 20 individuals to go with us. We understand if the number, we have a few avenues that we are seeking out. This is a world-spanning dilemma, and I know getting that many people together at one time with this kind of, they have to know what they're getting into, because if they don't realize the full extent of what's going to happen on the boat, once they see it, they might panic, and that would be counterproductive, to say the least.
Did we give you credit rating?
Yes.
Okay. Can you roll your credit rating for me?
Sure.
I mean, I know everybody has credit rating. I just didn't.
Right. I succeeded by 3.
What's your credit rating at?
62.
Okay, so decently high.
Yeah.
So let's talk slightly about Father Grave's history within the Catholic Church.
Okay.
You served in World War I.
Yep.
And then left the French Foreign Legion.
Yes.
And became a priest.
Correct.
And then you were immediately stationed in Cairo?
Yeah, that was... he did all of his training and, preliminary service in that area,
Okay.
the French Foreign Legion, because it was the area he was familiar with.
That's fair.
Spoke the languages.
Did you join any orders? Anything specific?
There was, I
That's
didn't
fine.
write it down,
Yeah,
but
no,
there was a, he went, his primary focus was teaching in a boys' school in Cairo.
Okay.
He also worked in the hospital, but I believe there was a specific order that ran the school, and he
Okay.
was a member of that.
The Jesuits?
I don't believe it was the Jesuits, but I'm...
Roll luck for me.
Oh, yeah. 8 out of 80.
Turns out it was a Jesuit school.
Sure.
The bishop stands. He hasn't given away too much with his body language yet, but he does seem concerned. He walks over to the door, and he speaks in quick Italian or quick Latin, which anyone that understands Latin will catch. Ring the Vatican. Tell me or get information about Father Grave. And then he goes and sits. And he comes back. He shuts the door, comes back, and sits down. I will have to look into this. You understand? I don't want to.
If you took me at first blush, it would seem strange as well. And
Are you doing this on? Are you acting in anyone's stead, or acting on a request of anyone in this matter, or was this something you took upon yourself?
No one of note. I became familiar with a former member of this group. He told me his story, and when he vanished, I went looking for him.
What do you mean, former member?
His name was Ian Byrne. He was an American who traveled from America to England to Egypt, attempting to uncover and stop what we are attempting to stop now. And he lost his life in the process. He sacrificed himself to save the world. And I have taken up his cause.
I see. And so no one, when you left Cairo, no one sent you on this. You chose to.
I anticipated spreading knowledge would also spread danger.
No, I just want to make sure that I'm not going to get back that the Pope has sent you on this, and I should have just moved along and not worried about this, or Cardinal, or even a bishop.
I told no one else about this to save potential threats to their lives.
I appreciate that thought. It will take a day or two to get word back from the Vatican, and it's quite a distance.
Yes.
Can I roll psychology to see if he has any underhandedness?
Oh yeah, go right ahead. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because he's like probing Father Grave for a lot of information. Of course not. 93 over a 73. Did you get it?
I got it.
In the early 1900s, exorcism, while known and quote unquote done, is not talked about especially in front of clerics or non-clerical people. So he's not necessarily. It's not that he doesn't believe you. It's that he's concerned with what you're saying. He also does want to verify that you are in fact Father Grave and not just some dude with a collar. But if you're a member of the Jesuit order, which we've established you are, that does carry a different weight, and you probably you would have at least introduced yourself to whoever let you in as that. That's part of that's part of
rank and
basic,
serial.
Yeah. So that information, the Jesuit order, as I understand it, is essentially the Pope's right hand to go do things. Not necessarily the Pope sends them, but they act as an order to do that. So the fact that you would have gone after that as a Jesuit, after this as a Jesuit, he can't really argue with that. That's within your order's creed. But it also depends on how he views Jesuits. So there's a bunch of stuff he's looking at you funny, mostly because you said exorcism and demons in front of non-believers, or potentially non-believers. There's an African and a Chinese man sitting at the table, clearly two of them non-believers, and then Eva is English, which means American, which means there's a good chance that she's not Catholic.
Well,
so I mean that as in meaning that he's seeing 5 people around the table, one of which is Catholic, one of which might be Catholic, and the rest of them probably not. So you just mentioned all of these things.
Well, I also said that it was a world-threatening event, and we are an eclectic group because we've all seen it.
Yeah, so he's just there's questions, but not anything he's going to bring up before he gets some more information.
Yeah, but he would also recognize on our faces that when he says, "Yeah, demony thing, destroy the world, demony demon," that we all go, "Yep."
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, you think I'll believe us? It's more like, yeah, they're coming.
Would you need anything else other than believers? And by believers, men of faith, I assume women of faith. Our pool of believers here is small.
I understand.
And asking anyone to do this, I don't have priests to fill that number.
I understand.
But that would be where I would start. But
no, laymen are completely adequate if they are willing. Like I said, I don't want to take anyone who doesn't understand what they're getting into here. We can't. The ritual itself is not dangerous, but the people we are going to confront are. So we cannot guarantee anyone's safety.
Okay.
They need to be aware of that, because if they're not, it'll cause us more headaches later.
Where are you staying?
I give them the location.
Expect. I don't know what time it was when Jack came and saw you. I want to say it was dinner time, so we'll assume this is the next day,
morning.
Which make this May the 7th. Expect an answer on the 8th of the 9th. If you haven't heard from me by dinner time on the 9th, please stop back by.
And I will just add in, Your Holiness, that these people are looking for us. For our safety, I would ask that you not divulge who we are until we have that. Contact the Vatican, but beyond that,
outside of the
avenue,
clergy.
do not talk about who we are and where we are, for they may come after us before we're ready.
I see. I understand. Well, I will probably send a runner to you in the next couple of days, and we'll meet again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. He stands. If you have something to say, that's fine.
Are we going to be shown out, or can we have privacy for a moment?
When is Mass?
Absolutely, you can have privacy. It's a good question. That is a really good question. When is Mass? When would Mass be on May? Oh, it doesn't give you the days of the week.
So he basically walks out of the room?
Yeah, he stands, and when you say, can we have privacy, go right ahead. And he walks out and shuts the door behind him. Mass... Okay. Mass would be in the next couple of days,
Right.
and he gives you a time. Yeah.
Mass happens every day.
Every day.
Oh, that's
crack
right.
of dawn.
It's crack of dawn tomorrow.
So tomorrow morning, you can find the Mass.
Although, if you need special dispensation or so on and so forth, he could do something for you when you need.
So, are we going to hide out at some special place?
Where we were.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Aren't we going to Brady's?
No, Brady didn't want us to go to his place because it would divulge his location once again. He was afraid. So we're going to go back to the consulate or wherever it was we were staying.
Yeah, consulate's the right answer.
Okay.
Right, the right word, yeah.
So that's the best we can do right now. We have to be prepared to leave at a moment's notice, but we are going to continue with this line of volunteers, seeking volunteers, and then we will go back there and wait for our answers. So, where would we like to go next? The fortune teller?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. You guys head across town, and by across town, probably down the street, not very far. Back to the fortune tellers. The house looks about the same. The door has been repaired. The door wasn't harmed, was it?
Yes, it was.
Okay. The door has been repaired.
There's no cat on this?
No cat. There's a lion. No, there's no cats.
Okay.
You knock. He invites you in. You guys take a seat. And what can I do for you again?
Well, we are attempting to solve a problem, as we've just explained last time.
Mm-hmm.
It has come to our attention that a certain ritual needs to be performed in order to accomplish that goal. The ritual requires bloodletting and...
in small amounts from a large number of people.
As the lady says, and the willful incantation of a chant.
Okay.
So, in order to mitigate the damage to any one person, we are looking for a large group of about 20 individuals who believe in these esoteric powers that would help us for the greater good of the world.
But they shouldn't believe too much.
Well, they need to be good and forthright people. Not
They need to be open to possibilities, but not knowledgeable of.
I see.
so. Your clientele, we thought, might be those kinds of people.
I see.
So we were coming to you to ask if you had any contacts that you thought fit this description. We would, or if even you would be willing to join the group.
I am.
He threw a
cabinet.
He threw a demon cat into a demon cabinet. I think he's corrupted.
Yeah, ignorance may not be.
I guess that's a good
Yeah,
point.
I might be outside of that bubble.
But Well, yeah, we don't know that that wasn't a Cthulhu demon. That was
So you would want someone who believes, but either is ignorant or too privileged to know.
Someone who doesn't have the talents that you possess.
I see. I could potentially get a couple of people together. One of them may want to write a story about it.
If we come out on the other side, he's more than welcome.
See,
He or she is more than welcome.
Well, and we still need to secure passage. Be great if we have 20 people, 25 people show up. We still need a boat.
That's true.
I can probably get together 5 or 6 people that match what you're looking for without too much trouble. I might be able to pull more or bring more, but I don't know that they would fit exactly what you're looking for.
We are pursuing several avenues at this point in time, so perhaps begin securing the individuals you think best fit our criteria. Make sure they're willing, and if we are coming up short, we will consider your other options.
Okay. As for the boat, I have no contacts really in...
Oh, we weren't asking for you to provide a boat. It's just something I thought I'd bring in.
Yeah. Okay. I will start contacting people. When would you need them?
Well, the sooner we can get 20 individuals to say yes, the better.
Okay.
But like I said, we are pursuing several avenues, so it may not be, maybe a week before we can actually get going, but they need to be. Tomorrow would be great, but willing
Anywhere
to go.
between, okay.
By the afternoon of the 9th. Why not? It's a nice round number.
2 days. Okay. I will see what I can do.
And what did you tell the bishop? Appreciate a little not spreading the word.
Oh, right, yes. But again, our safety is at stake here, so keeping our identities secret would be welcomed.
Excellent. Okay. I will do my best.
We appreciate it.
So you guys leave, and then where are you headed for your underworld contacts, Ma?
I would get word to someone that I knew who I wanted to speak to, and have them meet us at a tea shop in a few hours' time.
Okay.
Boss Dang Lao, or is he a burned contact?
No, he could appear. That's what I try and speak to.
Okay.
So either him or one of his agents.
Okay. You show up at your tea shop a couple of hours later. Boss Dang is already there with another gentleman kind of sitting with him. Probably someone there in case something goes bad.
Mm-hmm.
And as the 5 of you walk in, that gentleman stands and walks kind of to the door and stands just outside the door and eyes people as they go by.
Boss, I appreciate you meeting us. You've already given us much, and I'm afraid I must ask more, but the good news is we seem to have found a way to stop the present troubles. It will require a number of individuals who understand the value of being quiet, who can follow orders, who will give willingly of their blood and their spirit. So perhaps opium addicts, morphine users, anything of that nature. We'll also need a boat to take us to Grey Dragon Island.
I could find tons of opium addicts.
Not the very worst, you understand, but ones that are functional of walking under their own power, will do anything for it.
And they need to be functional at the time.
No.
They need to be able to verbalize something.
Okay.
But beyond that, no. And they need to understand that a certain sacrifice of blood will be necessary, but I assume they won't have a trouble with that.
I'm sure that I could provide more than 20 of those. Might take me a couple of days to get them together.
Ones that you have... Perhaps some of your men have a relationship with that do not have certain religious entanglements, if you catch my meaning. Or knowledge thereof.
I do.
That may winnow the pool.
As for the boat, I could contact someone at the French consulate and get a French boat captained and run by Frenchmen. But I can tell you that no man from China will go near that island, as we have discussed.
I do not care about the nationality of the sailors. We merely must get there with a boat that can carry our present party and 20
And you're
others.
capable of paying, I assume, actual money for this, but they won't. Ivory is not an option in this one.
Is this conversation happening in a common language? English?
Yeah. He's
Okay.
speaking English.
Yeah, we do, again, need to just make sure that at least the sailors in question are not affiliated in the wrong direction. But yes, we should be able to.
So my understanding, that particular affiliation has little to none that aren't native to our land. To my land, at least.
I won't say excellent, but that's good news, I guess.
Yes.
As it is. So,
You do have cash, though.
yes.
Okay. I can get the contact in place and get that all worked out. You will need to provide cash and be ready for that. Ready to do that when that happens. Is that acceptable?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, good. Then I will contact you in a day or two with the group that I have put together. I assume they will be compensated as well in some way, shape, or form, even if it's an opium.
With
that
drugs,
might be the
yes.
easiest.
That will ensure that they are compliant and do as they are told.
Excellent. Anything else I can do for you? I am glad to see you well and alive, though it is troubling to see that you've lost one of your number.
Very troubling. He was a individual of great power and ability.
I see. Anything else I can do for you?
Not at the moment.
Excellent. Well then, he raises his tea glass or his teacup, and best of luck to you. And I will contact you at the British consulate in the next couple of days.
Thank you.
Stand up, walk to the door. I open the door and let our party wander out.
Go out last.
Yep.
Okay. Where are you guys headed from there? Because I can speed through 2 days, but every time I try and speed through anything, you guys all want to have meetings. So I want to make sure that.
We have a copy of the ritual. I forget, is it a scroll or something?
Yes, you have.
The 7 books in the scroll.
Yeah, you have a copy of the 7 cryptic books of Hassan that give you information on how to work the Eye of Light and Darkness, just the ritual that you need.
Hassan.
What language are the books in?
It's in Mandarin, but has been partially translated. Translated enough that you can actually... the ritual has been translated, but other parts of the books. Are you going to spend some time studying that, Ma?
Yeah.
Should we all study it in case something happens to one of us on the way there?
Oh, you read Mandarin.
The important part's been translated.
I will
Oh,
study
has
the
it?
important part.
You've read the other parts.
Okay, so
No, only one of us should know the ritual is going in. All the eggs, one basket, that sort of thing. I mean, I'm sorry. I
Then
mean,
how-
limit the evil to one person.
How are we going to teach the chant to all the others? Aren't we going to need to do that too?
That part's in English.
Well, there then.
I mean, Father Grave would voice the desire to have not all eggs in one basket. If it's Ma and him, that's fine.
I mean, anyone can read the translated part.
Right.
Right.
All right, the minute that Father
It's all
Grave
on
expresses
one
that, I'm like, well, then I
translated
guess
part.
we should all learn it.
Looking over the ritual, Ma, you and actually Grave and Ma, you both recognize that one of you will be able to need to. Whoever starts the ritual will also need to be able to perform the elder sign. Does anyone in the group have that?
It's in our notes, but it's not something I have.
I believe it was something taken by, or something that the professor had that is now lost.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't written down that I learned it. So.
Ma, what's your Mandarin at?
75.
Okay. Can you roll luck for me?
Pass.
Okay. So, you both spend time reading over everything there, but Ma, you realize that the Elder Sign is built into the book. It just hasn't been retranslated.
Mm-hmm.
You find it. It will take you the better part of a day to fully understand the ritual and how to do it and how to so on and so forth. It is a ritual of protection, though, so something that you shouldn't have to worry too much about. It's directly opposed to...
Right.
Yeah. I guess I should explain that to our listeners. The Elder Sign is directly opposed to anything Cthulhu Mythos related.
Huh.
So, it's actually like a shield.
Oh, because when you're like, the Elder Sign, that's like, the Golden Arches means McDonald's. It's
No.
not anti-McDonald's.
It's like a tree branch that someone would carve into their wrist when in San Francisco.
Call back to
Oh,
our
I keep
side
thinking of the
quest.
star.
No.
What's the star?
Both. It's if you see on the spine of the book, this is the Elder Sign that Lovecraft described in the text, like actually wrote about.
Okay.
And this star thing has become kind of like, it's the one that you use when you play Arkham Horror. That's the Elder Sign used to seal gates.
So
So it's kind of
that's
like the
not-
more fancy one that they.
So that's a game made up one, and the other one is the real one.
They
Yeah,
were-
or like it's a latter day one.
For the
and this
relig-
one's like
for the
Well, I
religious.
mean, it's all fiction, so like saying the real.
No.
it's-
Keep telling yourself
Is
that,
it,
Johnny.
is it Johnny? Is
telling
it?
yourself
I've
that.
yet to summon a Shoggoth, is all I'm saying. My
Have you
ritual
been
doesn't work.
sitting at home trying?
Yeah.
Maybe you
was.
just haven't tried hard enough.
Maybe you did, and it's
I watched
inhabiting
a
like your
ritual
wife
where they were
or
trying to
something
That would
else.
make
Times.
sense.
Oh, wow. So that you keep telling yourself, if that's what you need to do to fall asleep at night, Johnny, keep telling it's all just a fictional game.
There's some real Cthulhu worshippers out there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't sleep anymore.
Nice.
all right. So
Asbestos, it'll keep you up at night.
It's scary.
I apologize for the short episode, listeners, but that'll do us tonight for Masks of Nyarlathotep. We're going to cut this one short a little bit because I think the next bit is going to get to hopefully some action, and we're going to get excited, and it'll be a little less slow and fun, more fun, lots of fun.
Lots of more fun.
We're gonna shoot 'em ups. Have some crazy shoot 'em ups.
You can find us on Facebook and Twitter. You can go over to patreon.com/nerdsdomain and support us there. We want to thank Jay, whoever you are, Jay, for supporting us.
Thank you, Jay.
We appreciate
now I can buy
our
bread.
We appreciate our Patreon supporters. You can also find our shirts over at /loot, and we will
Go ahead and go over to iTunes and give us a 5-star.
There you go, and you can sign up for the newsletter on the right hand side of the.
Anybody else have anything else?
The
Was
website?
Jay the name of Will Smith's character from Men in Black?
We have a website?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what
Okay,
it is.
so
Will Smith is supporting us. God.
That'd be awesome.
that'll do us tonight. Thank you, and we'll talk to you guys real soon.